Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is Lap Guide for Brands Hatch GP with the Audi TT Cup. Let's get this started. Your first braking point is before you reach the one sign that is on the left. You're going to brake hard for a short moment, slowly ease off of the brakes, and take your time slowly accelerating so you don't understeer onto the gravel. Your next braking point is before the one sign again, before you reach this bridge. Brake hard for a short moment once again, slowly ease off of the brakes, let the car do the rotation before you start to fully accelerate. Then look for the curb on the right as you want to brake just as it starts. Quick burst of braking, quickly ease off of the brakes and get on the throttle as soon as you can. Then look for the one sign as you want to brake just after you pass it. In case that's knocked out, brake before you reach the curb on the right. Don't turn in sharply right away. Just take your time bringing yourself to the apex, which is where this line is going across the track. That is your apex, and then you can start to carefully accelerate. Just try not to get onto the dirt or the grass. Look for the one sign as you want to brake before you pass it, and use little bursts of braking so you can slow yourself down just enough to maintain a good speed. Carefully accelerate, try not to get on the grass. Look for the red part of the wall on the left as that is your braking point. Quick burst of braking, carefully ease off of the brakes, nice and gentle with the throttle. Stay on the left side of the track, look for the one sign that is on the right as that is your next braking point. Take advantage of the curb on the inside part of the turn. Carefully accelerate and do not clip the grass. Then brake before you reach the one sign that is on the right, and you just want to try to get onto the curbs as that will help the car make the turn a little faster. Finally, bring yourself to the left side of the track, look for the one sign, brake before you pass it, brake hard for a short moment, slowly ease off of the brakes, nice and gentle with the throttle input so you don't clip the dirt or the gravel or the grass. But that is all for the lap guide. Let's go ahead and talk about the strategies. I also want to note that you can see the tire requirements by pressing race details on the daily race that you want to participate in. It's at the bottom of the page. And the second place to see it is in the race lobby itself before the race. It's over on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. So going on over to the actual race strategies, this is a little interesting because both the racing soft and medium tires are required for this race, so make sure you use both tire compounds so you don't get a 1 minute penalty after the race ends. Because of that, you're forced to do at least one pit stop. So this race is going to come down between a 1 stop and a 2 stop. Both pit stop strategies are pretty viable here. Interestingly, the 2 stop is very slightly faster than the 1 stop, and I think the pit strategies will vary between the cars. The reason why I say that is because with the front wheel drive cars, they're pretty heavy on the tire wear, especially the front tires, since they do a lot or pretty much most of the work, so their tires are going to be shredded. So because of that, the 2 stop does sound like a good idea, but you do need to be careful if you're doing the 2 stop, because if you end up pitting out into traffic or just get stuck behind someone, then that's really going to hurt your overall pace, and that will put the 1 stoppers at an advantage. The 1 stop is possible to pull off in the front wheel drive cars. It's just that it's just a little bit slower because you're spending a bit more time on the racing medium tires, and also those tires get shredded as well, and they don't last much longer than the racing soft tires. And again, this is the case with the front wheel drive cars like the Audi TT Cup. And for the 1 stop, I did 6 laps on the racing soft tires, 7 laps on the racing medium tires. For the 2 stop, I did 2 6-lap stints on the racing soft tires and then 1 lap stint on the racing medium tires. If you're in a car that is good to average on its tire wear, then you're going to be better off just going with the one stop, simply because those cars will be able to last a little bit longer on the racing soft tires. On most front engine rear-wheel drive and mid-engine rear-wheel drive cars, you should be able to last anywhere from 6 to 8 laps on the racing soft tires. And if you're able to last a little bit longer on the racing soft tires, then that's going to put you at an advantage over those on the front wheel drives, because their cars are shredding their tires, and even those on the two stop, because if you hold them back, then that's going to ruin their strategy, especially if they still have to make one more pit stop. And in this case, I'm actually doing another pit stop right away, because I'm doing 6 soft, 1 medium, 6 soft, and that's going to backfire on me a little bit, because I'm going to end up getting stuck behind someone, and I'm going to end up losing quite a bit of time. Your pit loss is around 7 to 8 seconds. It's going to depend on how your car is treating the tires. So if you're in a car like the TT Cup, then your tires are going to be shredded, and you're going to end up losing just a little bit more time as you do your in lap. And I do want to also note, try not to make any errors as you go throughout this race, because making even just a little error and then clipping just a little bit of the grass could spell disaster, and that could end your race. Okay, so here we are a couple laps later, and I'm stuck behind this car. So the car in front of us, he's actually doing a no stop, and he's going to find out that he can't do that. I do actually find it kind of impressive that he was able to make it work, but unfortunately you just cannot do that. And you're going to see here it's pretty easy to defend, and yeah, this is where it gets a little difficult, because it's going to be really easy for the other car to hold you up, and all they have to do is just move over a little bit to the inside line, and it's going to be really hard for you to try to get past them without risking yourself making a mistake and ending your own race that way. And yeah, I just want to show you this, because if you end up doing the two stop, this could end up happening, and you want to try to find a way to get around the other car without causing an incident. So now we'll go ahead and talk about potential places to do an overtake. This little straight is one of those places. You just need to get a really good exit, and they need to get a bad exit so you can take full advantage. This main straight is pretty much one of the better places to get another overtake done, and the back straight, which I'll show in a bit, is another good place to get an overtake done. But whichever place you're trying to overtake at, just try to get the inside line, so if you get the opponent to be on the outside line, they'll think twice and hopefully back out. And after this back straight, these couple of turns are places where you don't want to do any sort of battling or do any sort of overtaking, because it's really dangerous here, and if you try to do any battling, then you really risk getting into an incident, especially this turn right here. Making a mistake here or just even clipping the grass will end up ruining your race. The only exception is if someone makes a mistake so bad and you have a very open window to try to pass them. But even in that case, just try to go through it cautiously, get ready to do any sort of evasive maneuvers. And in terms of cars that are going to be good for this race, did I say cars? More like car that should be good for this race. It's pretty much going to be the Audi TT Cup. This car is just overly dominant in a lot of Group 4 combinations. This one is no exception, and the tire wear isn't high enough for it to really hurt the TT Cup. So yeah, this is pretty much going to be a TT Cup fest, so have fun with that, I guess. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this guide. And here comes the really cringy part where I say, if this video helped or this guide helped, you can press the like button, press the subscribe button, ring the bell, and check out my Patreon, which is in the description down below. Gosh, that was really cringy. But anyways, that is all from me. I'm going to sign off now. So this is Muslim CA. Try not to cringe again, and I'll see you in the next video.